Hi, welcome to the tool room. Today I'm going to do a video about these little miniatures by Veritas. I just received them recently. I had a couple of them, and a gentleman that knew what I had sold me the balance of them to complete the set. So I thought I would do a video about them, and let me bring you in closer so you can see what it is I'm talking about. So here's the set. The Veritas miniature router plane, the spokeshave, the edge plane, the cabinet scraper, the plough plane, the shoulder plane, and the miniature low-angle block plane. They're all so diminutive you wouldn't expect them to work well, but that's what I'm going to try out today in this video, and then we can all sort of judge together what how we feel about them, and we'll take them for a run. As you can see, I like smaller planes, and I have an affinity towards them, and so these are a nice addition to the collection. So let's get to the shop. This is the little Veritas router, and it has a working depth adjustment on it. And the blade is rather small, but that's fine. So is the router. So here I just did a short little cutout as if I were putting in a hinge or something, and I just wanted to see how it worked. And I'm hoping that you can see that it actually is working very well to clear out this area. Move my left hand and maybe you can see better. I don't have it set very deep. This is the first trial, but it really does a nice clean job of it. Although I don't know that I couldn't do this with the larger one, but there might be times that you have a little bit of a background in something. You can see it is cleaning up and making that little recess nice and smooth. So here we have the little plough, and you can see by the shaving that it's working very well, and it is indeed cutting a fine little groove right along the board. I'm hoping you can see the groove. I'll take a picture of it just so you can see it. It's very clean. It's a cute little plough. It's got a little Allen screw here to tighten down the blade, and it does have a depth adjuster that functions, as well as the fence being adjustable. The depth stop isn't real. It's just modeled into it to look real, but it's really not. But that doesn't take away from its usefulness, particularly if you're doing a really thin, just about a 1/16 of an inch groove, in which case it's kind of fun to use. So here's the little spokeshave, and fairly easy to set, and it works fairly well too. Now all of these are being used out of the box before I even sharpened them or anything, so This is as is, and so far I've been pretty impressed. Let's try this out. So I have two areas to work on. This is some teak, and this is a flat spoke shave, so it's okay on this little round part because it's so small, but that's not where I'd use it. So I have another piece set in here, so if you wanted to round, and I'll do it this way so you can see the shaving. So I guess if you were making toothpicks or something like that, you could use this for that, and it really works fairly well too. So here's the number 95, the right angle plane for squaring up edges on a board. And I don't really care for this being a Phillips screw, but that's okay. Let me get a little closer so you can see what I'm talking about. And I did a video on the 95. I happen to love this plane in its solid, it's larger form, but you have no depth adjuster on the iron like in the larger one, but that's all right. And so let's see how this one works. This is that piece of teak that I was rounding over with the shave, so let's come back here and try to clean it up and square that side again. And I think we're getting a good shaving. Doesn't take very long. We've gotten rid of that round portion. And now the board is nice and square and true. So fun. If you're a model maker, these are perfect for that sort of work. So no complaints on that. So here is the little rabbit shoulder plane. It's nice. It's got a depth adjustment on the iron, which I think is really good. And let me show you how that works. I've got a board here, and I only used this plane to make this rabbit. And works very well, except the shaving is coming out the other side, so you're not really seeing it. See what I can do to improve that. This is such small work that it is difficult to get a good shot of it because it's so small. But you can see, maybe what I'll do is bring this up for you to look at. You can see that I cut a rabbit along that whole edge just using that plane. So again, model maker's dream, I think. So here we have the little block plane, low angle, depth adjuster. The set screw is a Phillips screw. But let's see how it works. Here's a piece of teak that's still a little rough. I'm going to do it in this direction. Hopefully you can see, maybe if I do it one-handed. You can certainly see the color and the color change and the shavings it's taking. I wish there was a better way for me to get you a picture of this, but I have to say it's leaving a fairly smooth finish. So here's the number 80 scraper. That's the Stanley number. This is the Veritas. And you have the two sets for the depth of your scraper blade. And then this one here pushes against it to bow it if you want. And let's see how that one. I don't know, you may have just heard that, but here is the here's some of the shavings that I'm getting. I think they're a sign of how good this is. So that's pretty good. I'll move the camera around and see if I can show you from the other side. Okay, hopefully this will be better for you. It's actually pretty comfortable. I just have my middle fingers here and my thumbs in here. And it's really doing a nice job on this cedar to really smooth it out well. And producing some shavings to boot. So that was fun. It was really fun playing around with these tools. I'm not sure completely how I feel about them because there are friends of mine that swear by them as a necessary tool, but I think that's genuinely for people who are doing miniatures or model making or something like that. I can definitely see how they have a use. I think they're more cute than anything else, and in my eyes, I like having them as part of my my smaller plane collection, but I'm not sure how often I'll really get to go after them and use them. They all function properly. The 95 edge plane, the router plane did very well, and I can see that being useful in some really small little corners that I want to get into. I'm not sure it has the full depth that you might need for a lot of things. They come in these cases that you saw earlier, and for each one, in all the cases, they have properly, for instance, for the cabinet scraper, they have a place for the Allen wrench to fit in, and then it's very obvious how that fits in there. So that's very nice. And the plow plane is really, I think, one of my favorites. It's hard to say. I do obviously I've enjoyed, playing with them and using them, so I have no complaints. The quality of them are extremely well done. The finish and everything is really nice. Nothing to complain about. As long as you get into buying these that the proportions of them, you don't want to be surprised and get this thinking that you got a larger block plane. But at any rate, it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did. And we'll see you real soon. Come back to the shop as often as you can. Please like and share this if you can. I've been asking for that more often lately. I don't know why, but it's maybe a good way for me to get new subscribers and more views of my videos. Not that I need that either, but I appreciate it anyway. And I love to hear comments from you guys. Love to hear what you think about them, the tools, or whatever woodwork I'm doing and stuff. I like to share, and I'm glad you're here for me to share with you. Take care.